What's up, everybody? Well, I got another FIREBAT mini PC gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're doing Cronos The New Dawn. Now, I have a feeling this is probably not going to go well until we get to the very low settings, but we'll still give it a shot. I just don't think I'll probably get 2 minutes of footage for each thing, because it's probably going to be like 10, 11 FPS at first, maybe up to 20 FPS, so we'll see though. Maybe it'll be way better because it's got access to more watts, but it has like way less VRAM than anything else we've tested so far, so I don't know, we'll see. Usually Unreal Engine 5 games are VRAM hogs, but let's jump in and find out. So, we're gonna try 1080p. It's gonna go quite poorly, just like it did on the Allies. I don't even think FSR would help you out. But, in any case, why don't we go ahead, hop on in, I'll show you how terrible it is, and then we'll try some of the more, at least somewhat more reasonable settings.
Operating unit signal loss detected. Lazarus protocol engaged.
So, we're going to do 900p, which is a little bit better, but definitely still does not get us up to 30 plus or anything like that. You'd need FSR to do that, and you'd have to be pretty aggressive at it at this stage, so I don't think that'd be worth it. On this system, just like on the Allies and everything, I would just recommend just sucking it up, dealing with some not the greatest graphics, and do very low. At least then you can stay over 60 most of the time.
Structures found. Proceeding inside.
So, 720p, which at least gets us around 30 FPS now, but it still falls under, so you'd still need at least quality upscaling to keep you over 30. And it might not even be able to keep you over 30. That's why I was just like, screw it. We're going to do what we did on the Allies and just play on very low. That's what I'd do if this was my only system. Because I know it's not very powerful. I know it's under the minimum spec, so why would I try to, put the settings up high? I just like showing you what happens on this channel when you do that. It usually doesn't go well. But anyway, let's jump into the game. Well, alright, let's get some camera recorded gameplay. All I did was put it down to very low, like the Steam Decks ran on by default. Because, I mean, it gave them pretty good FPS. Obviously, it's going to look like kind of like poop when you have it all blown up on a 24-inch monitor like this, but it is what it is. At least I get playable FPS. If I had a system like this, I would just deal with not having great-looking games. Because I'd want decent graphics. Or at the very least, 30 to 40 FPS to make it somewhat playable. But hey, we're getting even better than that here, so I'd say that's a win. Absolutely. Now I'm willing to bet it's still going to have giant hiccups, like the Allies and stuff did. But who knows? Maybe it won't be so good. There's one right there. But yeah, so far Linux seems to handle Unreal Engine 5 games a little bit better, smoother frame times-wise. So far, this isn't as fast as the Allies, though. It was having ones where it felt like the dang thing locked up for like a split second, like that kind, like almost, like quite often. And I was like, ooh. Like I even explained, I can deal with that every once in a while. It's not that big a deal, but when it's happening like every couple of seconds, it starts reminding me of Silent Hill 2 remake, when you're just walking around and you know when a monster's coming because it freaking stutters on you. But hey, just something you have to deal with. It's probably just the way the game is, whether you're on a minimum spec machine or not. And I think these are all below. At least as far as normal things go, I think they're all fine if you're okay with very low and low resolution on top of it, you know? Which is nice. Most Unreal Engine 5s would be getting like 30 FPS, which drops into the low 20s right now. So I'm totally okay with this kind of performance compared to what we usually get with an Unreal Engine 5 game.
Damage to Sector D31 established. The perimeter seems safe. The port in this safe house is now active, using the fuses from another device upstairs. There was an emitter relic left on the base. By the will of the collective, I claimed it to aid the vocation. To my successors, if you need any more resources, you can use the surplus. The code is 367. Moving out to C31. Such is our calling.
Found a travel log. It was left here by the predecessor. He went off to C31, proceeding with the search. Generator. It is lacking 2 fuses.
And alright, with that, we wrap up. Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Cronos The New Dawn. And just like the Allies, it's not very playable, at least native, with high. Even with upscaling, I don't think high is going to work. Not on these. You'd get maybe 30 FPS with balanced or performance upscaling, and then it would look really, really, really bad, kind of defeating the purpose of being on high. Now, medium is going to make the game a little worse, but you could probably do some quality upscaling and maybe get up to like 30-ish FPS. Still with some drops into the 20s. Low, like almost 30 in some areas, but in other areas it's still in the lower to mid 20s, so you'd need some upscaling there too, and then that would probably stay at least in the 30-40 realm. But I would just suck it up and put it to very low at 720p and still get like 60 plus like most of the time. There's probably some areas that would still drop under here and there, and it still does have a hiccup every now and again. I'd actually say this one felt a little less like hiccupy than the Allies. Maybe it's something since they've got the GPU and CPU fighting over power maybe. This thing lets both just use max watts all the time, 45 all the time, nonstop. As long as it doesn't start overheating, and I think it can get up to like 90 before it starts doing that, starts throttling performance, so I don't think it even really does that. But either way, that is all for the video, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And I do a peace out with that hand, but until I can do it properly, I think we'll just keep doing a left-handed peace out, and until the next video,